Hey, good morning, Raza. It's your big homie Chuco Sam. I woke up this morning and I got an alert from YouTube creator. I guess I'm up there now. I guess I got enough videos where I'm considered a creator, so that's good. But then I got another alert that said something about I infringed on somebody's copyrights or something. So I'm looking at like, well, what can it be, you know? I do share a lot of stuff. I do share a lot of videos and stuff, so maybe I shared somebody's video, you know, and they got upset or something, butthurt or something, you know. When people share my videos, I don't give a fuck, you know. As long as they're respectful, I don't care, you know what I'm saying? When you put shit out in the public like that, in the on the internet, it should be like public information, you know what I'm saying? But no, I guess YouTube gives you the right to copyright your shit. So I mean, that's cool, you know, whatever. So the video that they blocked or deleted was the video I shared where Mo Hustle exposes SPM. What a coincidence, right? So I said, fuck it, I just charge it to the game, you know? I don't care, you know? Fuck it, whatever. It's his shit, you know? He has the right to copyright it. I'm not gonna cry about it. So I started thinking, too, you know, as I'm scrolling, I'm watching everybody else share the same video. And what the fuck? So I said, fuck it, you know, I'm not going to share no more of his shit. He's probably got all his stuff copyrighted. He's one of those that, you know, he wants to be the only one and shit. See, even though, I'm going to tell you guys something, man, about the Vato Mo Hustle. He's just barely now coming out talking shit. Half of the shit that he's talking about now, that, you know, oh, there was 8 victims. Oh, man, now I believe this and that. Que la verga. Half of that shit, half of us already knew. I've been knowing, to be honest. A lot of people been knowing. The evidence has always been there, man. You know, once you get convicted, you get convicted. The cops are not going to... well, the law enforcement's not going to fucking convict you for shits and giggles, just because, you know, just because. Because what happens is, if that were true, and they falsely imprisoned SPM, and they falsely accused them, and they slandered his name and shit, well, he'd be out. He would have like a lawsuit on his hands. He could sue the city of Houston. He could sue HPD and shit like that. He could sue the county. But he hasn't. And he's been in there for like 23 years. In protective custody. Don't get it all mixed up. Homeboy's not in there doing time and doing weights and out on the yard and shit like that. Homeboy is in PC. He's in there with the rest of the weirdos. With the rest of the chomos and shit. He's protected. Because if he was out in general population, he would have got his cherry pot by now. He would have got his ass taken already. Because there's vatos in there that don't play that shit. There's people in there that are really down, that don't like motherfucking child molesters, that would probably rape him just for the fuck of it, you know? But anyhow, so... that being said, you know, I was watching this other video that he did, that Mo Hustle did, with some other dude on some other podcast. And he's on there saying that, basically, that family member that's supposedly supposed to come forward and tell everybody the truth about SPM is Sylvia. And Sylvia is, South Park Mexican's sister. And what the fuck? His own sister. So supposedly, Mo Hustle is gonna do an interview, or already did an interview with Cam Capone from Cam Capone News, like about 4 or 5 days ago or something like that. And it's yet to be released. I don't know if Homeboy's still editing it or why it's taking so long. But yeah, I mean, if Mo is telling the truth, because let me tell you one thing about that vato, man. Well, he's not a vato. Let me tell you one thing about that Negro, as he likes to be called, or the words that they like to use. I personally don't like that word. I mean, not when it comes to like Raza. Raza's not N-words, you know what I'm saying? But that's a different story. You already know how I feel about that. But, what you call it? He can't be trusted, man. He cannot be trusted, because I caught Homeboy telling lies before too. Like when he falsely accused Mr. Capone about him being a chomo, about him having rape charges and shit. He swore up and down for months that he had proof and he had paperwork, but he never came through with it. He just came up with a bunch of lies, a bunch of like tactics, kind of like that fool. What's his name? The one that was supposed to do the Cholo documentary, Tony Tranzas. Just like that, man. Excuse after excuse after. You know what I'm saying? He never did came through with the paperwork. Long story short. And yeah, he made up some shit about Mr. Capone because High Power and them were talking a lot of shit about SPM. And Homo got butthurt. Mo got butthurt. So he launched this campaign where, you know, they just wanted to attack, you know, Mr. Capone back. But Mr. Capone was in his right. He was just voicing his opinion, you know. But all those vatos from Dope House, they've been knowing for years what the deal is, man. They've been knowing the truth. Baby Bash wants to act like, oh, no, I don't know. But years ago, he was over there defending SPM too. Making up lies. He made up that lie about Jill, about that 13-year-old. About her being a stripper. He made that shit up. It was Baby Bash and somebody else. I don't know. But they ran with that shit. SPM loved it. Because it made him look good. And, what's another lie that he made up? Oh, he lied about not knowing anything about, you know, when they got busted at the hotel with the 2 14-year-olds when SPM was out on bond. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know that because it doesn't say in the court papers. It just says 2 associates or 2 other people from the Dope House. It doesn't really name them. Well, at least not in the newspapers it doesn't. But, you know, from what I hear from the streets, and from what I hear here and there, Baby Bash was at the hotel with SPM and somebody else from Dope House. I still haven't found out who the third person was. When the cops came and they fucking arrested SPM for fucking breaking his bond. That fool was supposed to be at home. He was supposed to be like following certain rules while he was out on bond, pending his trial against a 9-year-old. But no, he fucking went out with these 2 clowns. And they picked up 2 14-year-olds and they took them to the hotel. And one of the 14-year-olds said that she had sex with SPM. they beat that case because supposedly the little girl had gonorrhea and SPM did it or some shit. And he tested negative for gonorrhea. That don't mean shit. He could have used a condom. But he got himself a good lawyer. And he got out of that one. But he didn't get out of it completely. Because no matter what, he still broke his bond. He wasn't supposed to be around minors. He wasn't supposed to be around any minors. Not his kids, not nobody. So since he was around those 14-year-old girls, he got his bond revoked. That's what gave him the 45 years. Not because he was this up-and-coming, rich, powerful Mexican rapper. The best Mexican rapper of all time. Or that fucking bullshit that he claims. No, it's not because of that shit. It's because he pled not guilty. And that shit was going to go to trial. This is for the 9-year-old. They couldn't get him for the 13-year-old because the time had already passed. The statutes of limitations. You know, they waited too long to get him on that one, so there was nothing that they could do about that. So they got this fool on the 9-year-old girl. That's what he went to trial for. And he posted bond. And this fucking dumbass, he could have beat that case. SPM could have beaten that case because there wasn't any physical evidence. I mean, I'm not saying that the little girl lied or anything, but it was more really like he said, she said thing, court-wise. So he had a chance to he could have beat that. He could have. But no. His sickness, his tendencies, his lust, his whatever the fuck it is, his psychological problem that he has, he just had to go out and go molest again. And that's real common with child molesters. It's real common that they can't help themselves. It's like a dope fiend, you know? They can't wait for the next rock. Same thing with child molesters. They can't wait for the next victim. It's like a thrill to them. So, what does SPM do? He doesn't humble up. He doesn't say, oh man, I got caught. He doesn't shut the fuck up. No. He, once again, makes up this bullshit story that he pled not guilty and that because he pled not guilty and the system wanted him, that's why they gave him 45 years. There was some kind of conspiracy against him because he was Mexican and the government or the FBI or whoever, the boogeyman or didn't want Mexicans in power or Mexicans to come up or something. He made up some fucking bullshit ass story that till this day everybody believes. A lot of people still believe that shit, man. You know, maybe back in the 1950s and the 1960s that shit would have been true. But you gotta think about it. This was the early 2000s. He's never taken any responsibility for what he's done. The only thing that he took responsibility for was fathering his son with the 13-year-old, with Jill. And that's just because he got caught and everybody knew about it. And fucking a DNA test proved it. So he kept that secret for a long time. He kept the secret for a long time. He was paying Jill money. He was giving her money, and then something happened to where I guess he wasn't giving her enough feria, enough money, or something. So she fucking the mom, because Jill was still a minor back then. Jill's mom filed for or made Jill go down to the courthouse and file for child support against SPM. So that's what happened. Because he was trying to keep that shit a secret. Because you gotta think about it, this fool was married. This fool was married when he was fucking around with the minor. He was married when he impregnated that 13-year-old, man. He's a piece of fucking shit. He got all these vatos here, all these fucking crybabies and shit, his fans, fucking cocksuckers. They over here justifying that shit, talking about, oh, that would be legal in Mexico. You know, when my grandmother was 13, my grandfather impregnated her. Boom. This isn't Mexico. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? This is not Mexico. This is not fucking some backwoods, fucking countrified ass fucking Alabama, where your cousins do shit like that up in the mountains and shit like that, man. There's laws that we gotta follow, man. 13 years old. What does a 13-year-old know how to do, man? They're still little kids. Shit, they're still little kids at 15. They're still little kids at 16. They're not mature. They don't think right, man. That's why these predators prey on them. These older men. Like SPM. But yeah, man, that shit pissed me off, man. They took my video down. They took my video down where Mo Hustle is like airing out and talking shit about SPM because it was copyrighted. You know, so I was one strike against my channel, which sucks because I see everybody sharing the same video. But you know, I'm not gonna really share his shit. I'll make my own. I can make my own fucking videos. Fuck YouTube and shit, like their rules and all that shit, man. Fuck Mo Hustle too, man. You know, I don't really, just because he switched sides, I don't trust that fool, man. That fool used to talk a lot of shit about us. Now supposedly he's on our side. I don't know, man. I don't know. He's mad basically because they fired Fileto. And Fileto's his homeboy. You know? I mean, but, you know, you would think that Fileto would be the one to come out and say some shit. How come Fileto don't come forward and talk on it, speak on it, voice his opinion? I find that kind of strange, huh? Fucking I Am Lopez came out and talking shit. She got bigger balls than him, I guess. She don't give a fuck. That girl fucking straight up fucking put that fool on blast and all kinds of shit, man. So I gotta give her credit. You know? She don't play that shit. But how come all these other fools don't come out? Well, I mean, and why would Sylvia, why would SPM's sister come out against her own brother? To help Mo Hustle? That shit don't make sense either. Because she's been defending him since the beginning. And she's got every right to. That's her brother, man. Family protects family. So I've got nothing against that. You know, and even, I mean, why would she wait 25 or 23 years or whatever it is to finally say something? Just because Fileto got fired, just because Mo Hustle got his feelings hurt. Something's up, man. I don't trust this shit. I don't trust it 100%. You know, maybe maybe that's all it took for Mo Hustle to switch sides. Maybe he's really pissed off, and you know. But the story that he's telling, that he barely found out this and that, that's bullshit. Half of the shit that he just barely found out, I knew like 20 years ago. He works with these people all day, every day. He knows their behaviors, what they do, their schedules, what the problems are. He even said it himself. Mo Hustle just said it himself. Go back, look at his video. He says that he's a counselor to all these people. These people come to him with all their problems. So how is he not going to know? He knew. He was just holding the secret. He was holding the secret. Just like everybody else in Dope House. Everybody in fucking Dope House protected this man. Everybody. Baby Bash, Juan Gotti, fucking Low G, Rashid. Everybody fucking knew this shit, man. Grim, Shadow, everybody knew this shit. Or if they didn't know, they kind of fucking at least would have suspected it. Or kind of sort of knew something about it. Or heard about it. But nobody never ever came forward. But they were out there marching and shit. Free SPM. At the Day of Unity and shit. Them too, I mean. And then you had the brothers. You had the African American brothers, you know. You had K Reno and the SUC Click and Little Flip and all these fools up there talking about free SPM too. When they didn't know shit about the case. So he just didn't convince his family. He convinced a lot of people. You know, like I said in the previous video, like when it first happened, like for that first year, I kind of said like, you know what, man, maybe he did get set up. That was a lot of people's first reaction, because like it didn't make any sense back then, because this fool, even though I didn't like that fool, I still don't like him. He was coming up. He was doing something. He was making it. He had Fedia. He had all these contracts. He signed artists. He was gonna go somewhere with his career. So back then the first reaction would be like, why would he do that when he has so much on the line? But then it was like the Bill Cosby effect, You have victim number 1, victim number 2, victim number 3, victim number 4. Then you had the Houston Press come out and say that SPM made a statement to a reporter from the Houston Press that he was fucking young girls at Milby or something like that. I can't remember. It's been a long time ago. Then you have victim number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8. Then you get busted while you're out on bond for the same shit you're being accused of. That's enough. That's a pattern. I'm sorry. There's no more excuses that he can make to defend himself. Because you see, SPM's a real good talker. A real good convincer. He's a manipulator. This guy, that's why he was making it. He's a good talker, man. He talks a good game, and You know, he's cool, calm, and collective. He's a smart motherfucker. That's what made him a smart businessman. The only thing that fucked him over was his tendencies, his fetishes, his fucking whatever the fuck, the sickness that he has, a chomo effect, if you want to call it that. That's what fucked him over. I mean, dude. I mean, you had all that money. You were married. You had kids. You had your own fucking studio, your own distribution, and all that shit, man. You had money. If you weren't happy with your marriage, with your wife, you should have divorced her. You had enough money to go fuck around. You could have got you a woman, a lady of age. You could have done that. And we wouldn't be talking about you right now. You wouldn't be in prison right now. But you made that decision over and over and over and over. Like you were never going to get caught. Because you're a cocky son of a bitch. You're so sure of yourself. That's another reason why I don't like that fool, man. SPM thinks too much of himself. He thinks like the world revolves around him. You don't believe me? Go to Dope House. Go to his studio, to his museum. It's all about him. All you see is pictures about him, history about him. You don't see Powder up there. You don't see Rashid up there. You don't see Shadow up there. You don't see Fileto up there. All you see is posters of all his fucking whack-ass album covers that he ever did. You still don't believe me? Look at him. Whenever he makes a post or does an interview or whatever, this fool, he don't post pictures of himself like now. He'll post pictures of himself when he was like 30 years old. That's kind of weird, man. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Shit, I looked 1,000 times better when I was in my 30s than I do now. But I don't like post pictures of myself or airbrush myself or video filter myself when I'm talking to you guys, so I could look like I did like when I was that young and shit. That's crazy. That's some high nut shit. That's some girl shit. Weirdo shit. I mean, just think about it. Think about what he says and how he talks. How fucking confident he is. Overly confident he is about himself. He's so motherfucking confident about himself that he thinks he's gonna get out next month. He's so sure that he's gonna make that parole. You know? But yeah, I mean, there'll be a day where I won't even have to talk about that motherfucker no more. And to be honest with you guys, I shouldn't be talking about that motherfucker anymore. I mean, he's already been locked up, what, 20 fucking 3 years or some shit? But he keeps coming up. He keeps making himself relevant. So he can make his album sales. So he can keep making money for his company. Which, by the way, I think is illegal. There's some kind of law that says that prisoners cannot make money or cannot own a business. If the parole board finds out that he's been having a business while he's been in prison, they're going to revoke his shit automatically. He's not getting out. He's going to have to wait till his next parole hearing. Number 2, he never apologized for what happened. he shows no remorse of what happened. No, what does he do? He gets more cocky. He's still sticking to his story that he didn't do this or that he was framed, that HPD wanted him because he was Mexican. Whatever fucking bullshit lies that he made up. But yeah, man, I mean, I'm gonna continue to make more content. To all my subscribers, to all my followers, to all the homies out there, the homegirls, all my Raza, everybody, man. Thank you. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for like listening to me rant and shit. Because I know sometimes I just go on and on like an old man. Well, I am an old man. Shit. You know, sometimes I talk my shit. Sometimes I talk out of my ass. But those, you know, I don't mean nothing by it. Those are just my opinions. Just because they're my opinions doesn't mean that they're true or that they're fact. I try to do my research as much as I can. I'm not perfect. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to continue to make more content. And hopefully, one of these days it's not about this clown. You know, if he gets out, fine. I don't give a fuck. He's not going to do anything. He's not going to conquer the world. He's not going to take out every rapper that ever lived. None of that shit. Clown shit that he says. He's not going to do none of that. What he's going to do is go register as a sex offender. Go get fitted for an ankle monitor. Go sign up with this parole officer. And he's going to have a curfew. He's going to have to stay away from certain places. He can't be caught drinking. All kinds of shit. He's not going to have time to conquer the world, man. He's out of his fucking mind. But if, like, he gets out, and that's what the law says. If the law comes back, if the judge comes back and says, hey, you know what? This fool did his time served. I'm okay with it. 23 years is a long time. Long enough, I guess. But, yeah, man. That's what the law decides, that's what the law decides. That's not up to me. If they want to keep him there a little bit longer, fine. I don't give a shit either. I don't care. It's up to the law. It's in the law's hands. It's not up to me. It's in God's hands and it's in the law's hands. But enough. I've already talked too much. I usually don't talk this long. But yeah, man, keep your eye out for some more content. I might go live. I might DJ some oldies, some funk or something. You know me. You know how we do it here on this channel. We do it puro barrio tirilón, puro raza hasta ratos.